Good morning. My name is Ebony, and I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to the CA Infrastructure Management Community Webcast. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question-and-answer session. If you would like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, press the pound key. Thank you. I would now like to turn today's conference over to Dildar Kalan. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the IAM Global User Community Webcast for today, June 5th, 2014. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Kiran Diwakar, Director of Product Development. He'll be doing a presentation on CA Spectrum 9.4. He'll also be reviewing key features along with a short demo, and then follow it up with a roadmap of things we have looked forward to in the future. If you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A section instead of using the chat. That being said, I'll just turn this presentation over to Kiran. Thank you.
Thank you, Dildar. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Kiran Diwakar. I lead the product management team. We are almost towards the last few weeks of our work for our upcoming release, Spectrum 9.4. What I'm going to do today is run you at a high level through some of the key features, content in there. What I'll also do is I have my engineering colleagues with me who will do a live demo for a few of the key features we are talking about. I've been working on Spectrum and CA for the last few years now, 3-4 years now. And before I get started, I'll just assure you one thing. While I was putting together this content, I was so excited as I feel and I believe this is probably one of the most exciting presentations you'll see from a content perspective for Spectrum. So we have included and we have put on our roadmap a lot of things that many of the participants I see in the list have been talking to us about and asking for. So this should be a good session. So this is the agenda. I'll run you through the project, and we'll do this slightly differently on today's session. While I go through the details of some key features, immediately after that, I will transfer control to my engineering colleagues, and they'll run through the demo so that there is no delay between the slides and the content being discussed and demoed. I think it will be a better experience that way. As I said, we are driving a few pretty innovative projects within Spectrum, and we are trying to do some long-standing requested items within Spectrum. I'm pretty sure you'll be excited to see those because the few customers and partners we have discussed this with, they have been pretty happy and impressed. And obviously, I'll talk about the roadmap. We have the next 3 releases planned for Spectrum after 9.4, and there's a lot of good content, the core network management pieces being updated within Spectrum as well. So let's get into the details of the project. I reviewed these a few months back at a high level when we started the project, but we have our official code freeze next week, which in turn means that most of these features are code completed and basic unit testing and then some other broad level testing done. So Project Delmar, I had mentioned this earlier that our last release, Spectrum 9.3, was predominantly focused on internationalization. We spent around 14 months working on that release, and while we did go out with a quality release, we fell behind on some of the core network management areas that we have tried to catch up on this particular release. So our goal for the team was to update and enhance the core Spectrum capabilities. And you see here some of the things from that release that we have in here. Network and server virtualization. So virtualization management was always supported through Spectrum from a VAME perspective. we have embarked on our journey to support network virtualization as well. And within 9.4, that is Delmar, we have support for link aggregation. Our subsequent releases in the coming months will have support for things like virtual port channeling, Cisco virtual switching, and we are also considering the VMware virtual switches, both the distributed ones and the regular ones as well. We have also started embarking on our integration with Nimsoft Monitor, the tool that CA has, which is very heavily focused on systems and server management as of today. We are leveraging that complementing technology with Spectrum 9.4, and we will be now able to manage servers and operating systems leveraging the Nimsoft technology. We have some IP services related improvements and some operational efficiency improvements. But more importantly, we have 6 highest voted community enhancements that have been implemented in Spectrum 9.4. We will be demoing some of those capabilities that have been implemented that were voted by the community as well. Very importantly, we have over 150 certification updates coming in with Spectrum 9.4. I think a few weeks back, I had updated and uploaded a spreadsheet of the exact devices that were updated in Spectrum 9.4 on the communities, and we will make it a practice to update that on a monthly basis. So we have a lot of things that we have done from a 9.4 perspective. As of today, the WAME Virtual Center AIM can only work in a one-on-one mode with Spectrum. And again, this has been a complaint, a concern by a lot of our larger customers, because every time they procure a new VC, they have to arrange for an appropriate deployment of the AIM as well. With this release, we have improved that, and now we support multi-instance VC AIMs within Spectrum as well. So multiple VCs managed by the same AIM can be managed by Spectrum without any problem. I talked about our start for the logical entity management from a network standpoint, network virtualization. With 9.4, we have started with link aggregation control protocol. What Spectrum will do is, just like the other conventional devices we work with, Spectrum will out of the box discover and identify devices that have link aggregation turned on. We have tried and tested it for both Cisco as well as Juniper devices that have link aggregation turned on. Those devices will be shown up appropriately in the topology, in the hierarchy. We have added a typical one-click subview to show the information about those aggregated devices, the ports involving in that aggregation, the status of that aggregation, and so on and so forth. To make it easy to manage for the end users, we have also added a spotlight view. So once you click on the spotlight view, only the devices that have link aggregation turned on would be highlighted. Everything else would be suppressed or grayed out. It makes it easier for an end user to determine the devices that have link aggregation turned on in their environment. We have obviously the typical things that Spectrum has for network devices. We have alarming capabilities. We have locator searches. We are trying to get some out-of-box reports for the link aggregation devices as well. While I have the small screenshot in there for link aggregation, what I'm going to do right now is I'm transferring the control of presentation to my colleague Hari and JK from engineering, who will help us run through a demo around link aggregation. Hari, JK?
Yes, Kiran, I'll take it.
So while JK and Hari share their desktop and the setup, the real-time setup that we are using to test in-house, as I said, this is our first step. We have planned planned virtual port channeling and Cisco virtual switching using the Catalyst switches in the next release. I'll show that in the roadmap. And we are also researching and reviewing support for VMware distributed switches, the VMware virtual switches as well. Okay, cool. We see your desktop being rendered, Hari. So just 1 second.
Kiran, you are able to see my desktop?
Yes, it's still getting rendered. Just one. Okay, now we see that.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the LACP demo. Right now you can see the devices which are having the LACP are discovered in this topology. So to find out what all devices which are having the LACP, we can go to the devices, supported applications, LACP. If you click on this, it will show all the devices which are present in your network having the LACP. So let me go to the one of the devices which is having the LACP. So this is the one of the devices which is having LACP, and if we show the interfaces which are present in that LACP, it seems we are having one alarm on this device. So this is the management loss alarm. So I think I'll go with the another device. So if we see, this is the type of the interface which we got for the LACP, port channel 1, port channel 1, port channel 1. So that is 3 interfaces of the device are configured as LACP. So this is one port channel group. And also we can see to which device it got connected. And if you go to the information view of this device, we have added one view, LACP view. So this is the LACP port aggregation table which we have added. So it will take a minute to get all the information from the device.
No, it's fine, Hari. And while it's rendering the information, let me just call out that the systems and the environments that you will see a demo being done on, those are all our dev machines, all our QA machines with the intermittent builds in there. So I'm just prepping you up in case something does not show up, because these are all under QA still. I'm pretty sure we'll see everything, but I'm just making sure, just in case.
Basically, like Kiran, these are the LOD machines which are having some latency with the devices. So we are seeing the slowness of accessing these devices.
Sure, understood. Yeah. In the meanwhile, could we show the spotlight view while it's getting rendered, or it will have to be serialized?
We have added one option for spotlight view. That is, when you click on the spotlight view, it will show the LACP devices list. So if you click on it, it will show what all devices which are having the LACP. So right now it is selected 96.36. That is partner device. So whatever the device which is other than the highlighted device, that is the actor device. So if you see, this is the actor and this is the partner. In the same way, we have another device which is having LACP. So this is the chassis device where it has multiple modules. So it's internally connected to the LACP. So before that, we'll go to this view and we'll check it.
So these are some specialized environments that are in our centralized labs within CA. So given they are being accessed over the WAN, it is difficult at times to not only demo but even to test. But nonetheless, I think we should be able to see some data. So essentially, while it's rendering, Hari, what all information would we see for the devices that have aggregation turned on? So can you just explain that in the meanwhile?
So basically, this LACP aggregation table shows the aggregator ID. Suppose the interfaces, if it is having 24 interfaces, in that how many interfaces are into which group. So based on that ID, we can easily identify those interfaces are into which group. And also we can we can see what is the actor port and what is the partner port. So the actor port is on the present device, and also we can also show the partner port of the other device. Like the actor is connected to partner, and also we can show the partner port connection. Here we can also see the actor MAC address, partner MAC address. Also, we also see the operational state of the LACP. So basically, we can see what exact activity is going with the LACP. So there are different states in the LACP, so we can show that states as well.
Sure. Thanks. So let's do this. Hari, that you transfer back control to me. I'll go to the next slide. Let this render, because I need to come back to you anyway for the next demo within 10 minutes. So by that time, you can have one of the LACP devices render that information, and before beginning the next demo, you can just show this table again.
Sure, Kiran. Sure.
Okay, so if you could transfer control back to me, please. Okay, so the next item, as I said, that we are working on, or rather we have worked on Spectrum 9.4 is our integration with Nimsoft Monitor. So basically, Nimsoft is a complementing technology. We acquired Nimsoft a couple years ago. What it provides us in the infrastructure management space is access to different technologies like storage, database, and so on and so forth. We always had access to server, operating system information, virtualization information through our system edge and VM technology. What Nimsoft gives us, adds value, is provides access to the other elements and domains within the infrastructure like storage and database. So our plan is, over a period of time, leverage this information and management capabilities from Nimsoft into Spectrum and apply all the cool things that Spectrum does with the devices. For example, root cause analysis, impact analysis, relationships, topology, so on and so forth. With Galmar, that is with 9.4, we have started supporting servers. So basically what will happen is Spectrum will get the server inventory from Nimsoft upon startup. Those elements within Nimsoft that we have got within Spectrum from Nimsoft would be modeled within Spectrum in hierarchy and topology. We have a new node created called Nimsoft Manager, under which these CIs or elements we get from Nimsoft would be categorized by their operating system and their platform. Along with that, we are ensuring that just getting these elements within Spectrum won't be much value. We are also making sure that Spectrum goes the next level and gets the level 2 relationships for these entities as well. So when Spectrum gets server xyz.ca.com from Nimsoft, Spectrum will do its due diligence and determine that switch xyz.ca.com is the upstream switch which is connected to router abc.ca.com. So Spectrum will try to go through its due diligence, create that relationship so that it will then be able to do root cause analysis across network and server elements. So if your switch would go down, Spectrum would be able to suppress the alarm on the downstream server, and we'll show that in our demo as well. So, we'll get the inventory, we'll model it in topology, we will assert alarms, do root cause analysis, and we will show some key metrics for that particular element we get from Nimsoft. We won't replicate everything that we get from Nimsoft. The reason is we are providing the ability to do a launch in context into Nimsoft. So if you want to see a lot more information, trends, some other cool things that the Nimsoft UI provides, you could directly launch into context either to that alarm or to that device from Nimsoft that we have. As I said, while I transfer control back to our engineering colleagues to do the demo for this as well, as I said, this is our first piece where we are working on server management. Our goal is before end of this calendar year, we have support for VMware through Nimsoft as well. And beyond that, we have plans for supporting other things too. So Hari, I have made you the presenter again for the Nimsoft integration demo.
Okay, then
Yes, sorry, we are able to see the. Okay, so you have rendered the LACP information. Okay.
Yeah. So if you see, we can see the aggregation ID and the actor port, partner port, actor MAC address, partner MAC address. So what are the things which we discussed? So we can see all those things. So even if you see the different states which are available for the operational state. And apart from this, we have LACP threshold alarming, where basically it shows the threshold alarms. Suppose if we say 3 interfaces are configured as LACP group, and if 2 interfaces are down, Spectrum calculates the threshold and it alarms the queue. So like we have gone through the Nimsoft demo, we'll go through the Nimsoft demo. Give me a second. So basically, for Nimsoft configuration, we need to fill the Nimsoft server hosting, Nimsoft server port, UMP server details, and the UMP server port. So this is one of the selected Spectrum server. You can see basically if it is configured with the DSO setup, we can see the multiple Spectrum servers in it. Basically, this option is added like if the Nimsoft host model, which is coming from the Nimsoft, if it is not present in the Spectrum, basically it will create under the selected Spectrum server. So that is orphan models will be created under the selected Spectrum server. So by clicking save, you will see the models created under this Spectrum. So these are the different models created. So if you see Nimsoft host model is created. So these are the different models are created from the Nimsoft. And also you can see the connection to the upstream switch for some of the devices. So this is another device which has upstream connection to the containers. Even if the devices are present in the containers, those connections will be created when you integrate within Nimsoft. So when I open the container, you can see connections are created for the Nimsoft host.
Awesome. Cool.
And this is the hierarchy created under the Nimsoft manager, where you can see Solaris hosts and Windows hosts created. If you have Linux machines, you also see that is Linux folder is created, and under that the host is added.
Yeah, you make a good point there, Hari. I'll just take 1 minute from you. So if you see the hierarchy that Hari is showing right now, we have put together containers or folders for each of the technologies. So we have made it easy to augment. So when we will have virtualization in place, the way you have servers right now, we will have virtualization, we will have storage. So we will have the technologies grouped together and the elements under those shown. I'm sorry, Hari, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So for the Nimsoft models and also the models which are overlaid, you see the QS metric information. So this is the QS metric information added, where you can see usage metrics, multi-CPU QS metrics, and QS disk metrics. So these are the different metrics you see when we integrate, and those were models which are pulled from the Nimsoft manager. So once the integration is done, you can also see the alarms which are coming from the Nimsoft. So these are the different threshold violation alarms which are created on the model. So you see those alarms on the model. And if you see one of the model which is from the spectrum, you can also see the alarms on that model as well. So these are the alarms which are coming from the spectrum, sorry, Nimsoft. So apart from that, we have an UMP option where if you right click on the device, Nimsoft host, and you will see an option called Launch Nimsoft UMP View. So if you click on this view, you will direct it to a Nimsoft UMP portal where it will show all the required metrics configured for that Nimsoft host. So basically, it asks for username and password for one time. Once you save the session, it won't ask again. So these are the different metrics available for that particular model. So similarly, I'll open to another model. So this is the view for the another model. So in this view, you can see additional information like response time, CPU usage, processor queue length. So if you see here, these are the different probes configured on the Nimsoft host models. So we can see the different graphs coming from the Nimsoft UMP portal. So as the connections were created onto the spectrum models, we can also have the root cause analysis for that specific Nimsoft model. So I'll try to simulate the RCA, where we can see how exactly Nimsoft model will be suppressed, and also how the upstream switch, if something gone wrong with the upstream switch, how the alarm is raised on the upstream switch. We can see that. So right now I'm simulating the problem. So right now I'm doing I'm simulating the problem where the spectrum is not able to reach the upstream router as well the downstream devices. So right now you can see a critical alarm is raised on the upstream switch and the downstream devices, which is an Nimsoft model, which is in substrate state. So when you click on this suppressed model, you can also see the alarms which are present in that, so which are traps which are came from the Nimsoft. And whereas if you go here, you will see a critical alarm on the device. And if I go to the impact, this you can see the management lost for the one of the Nimsoft model.
Nimsoft devices. Good. Awesome. Yep. So we are now able to extend that root cause alarm suppression onto elements we are getting from Nimsoft as well, right, Hari?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Cool. Yep. Yep.
Any questions? That's it from my from the Nimsoft side.
Cool. So if you could transfer control to me, Hari. Thank you very much. So appreciate it, Hari. So as I said, this is the first step towards the integration. We will be supporting virtualization and the other technologies as well. You'll see in my roadmap where we now have eventually plans in the coming quarters to push spectrum intelligence to Nimsoft as well. And what do I mean by that is we are consuming the server information and virtualization information from Nimsoft. But Nimsoft does not have the powerful root cause analysis engine like Spectrum. So we are talking to the Nimsoft team and their product management team to be able to push that root cause alarms to Nimsoft and have Nimsoft take action on its elements for those users as well. So we have some pretty neat plans in place for this integration as well. And we just did the demo. My next important thing, so as I said, we would be setting aside a bandwidth for the highest voted community enhancements every release. We promised that the last time. I'm very happy that in 9.4, we have all these community voted enhancements that were highest voted over the last few months. I know some of them are pretty old as well, but we are making a start now, and you will see a bunch of these every release coming in from our side as well. So what we'll do is every time I've been just showing this spreadsheet, this time I'll transfer control to my other engineering colleague, JK, who will run us through some of the key community voted enhancements that you guys have been asking for a long time. So JK, I have transferred control to you. So if you could just run us through some of these 6, 7 that we have implemented in 9.4.
Thank you, Kiran. So, I mean, you transferred the control to Hari, right? I'm with Hari, actually.
Yes, I did. I did transfer to Hari. Yep.
Good morning, everyone. So, I'll just go through some of 4 community voted ideas in this demo. The first one being the alarm history, and then next will be the last occurrence timestamp, and next will be the sorting based on last occurrence, and the last one will be the removal of myths. So I'll start with alarm history. So I hope everyone is able to see my desktop.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
So yeah, I'll be. So the first one will be the alarm history. So alarm history, generally the need for alarm history arises is, let us say, if any alarms are raised on the device, when these alarms are raised and cleared after business hours or during the time when none of the users are monitoring the one click. So this gives him the flexibility. At a later point of time, you can go to that device and see the alarms raised and cleared during after business hours or during when the one click is not being observed or monitored. So, to show you, so I'm in the topology tab highlighted on a device. So if you see the component detail at the bottom, there is a new tab added, which is cleared alarm history. This is where we will see the alarms being cleared. Generally, it will show the events here instead of the alarm set. So what I will do now is I'll quickly raise the alarm on this device and clear it. So for that, I'll be using internal tool to raise the alarm and clear the alarm. So here, this is the trap tool, which I'll be using to send a trap. And this trap will in turn raise a major alarm. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just quickly make it, I'll update the source RP, which is the device which I highlighted in the topology, and the spectral server where I'm going to send it. So this trap will raise a major alarm. So let me send it. So just observe on the highlighted device, we have a major alarm has been raised on this device. So you see a major alarm being raised. So now let us say during some point of time, device has sent a trap which clears this alarm. So this I have constructed a clear trap using this tool. Now I will send again this trap. This trap will clear the already generated alarm. So if you see here, the device is turned green, and within few seconds you will see the alarm getting cleared in the alarm stack. Yeah, so just now let us say if these events are not being monitored, very well the user can come back at later point of time and go to cleared alarm history, and you can see the alarm being raised when the device is not monitored. If you see here, so an entry has been updated with the alarm raised and earlier. Yeah, so with this I'll just conclude this alarm cleared alarm history part. The next thing I'll move on to last occurrence timestamp. So any queries on this alarm history, so I'll hold on for a few seconds. Okay, so now let's go with the last occurrence timestamp. So last occurrence timestamp, if you see here, I'm in the alarms in the contents pane. I am in the alarms tab. So this last occurrence timestamp is hidden by default. If anyone needs the column, they have to go to the table preferences, and then they have to enable it. So now I'm enabling it. So you see here, it is visible now in the alarms view. I'll just quickly drag it next to date and time column. So if you see here, date and time and last occurrence are side by side. So what I'll do now is I'll generate an alarm on one of the device, and will observe the last occurrence date and time being updated whenever that alarm is raised again. So I'll generate the same alarm which I've used earlier. So what I'm going to do now is I'll again quickly send in this alarm which raised, this trap which raises a major alarm on 96.5. Yeah, so we got an alarm now. So the first alarm, the date and time column and the last occurrence date and time column will be same. So for the next alarms being raised on this device, for the same alarm, last occurrence date and time will get updated. So I'll wait for a couple of seconds before raising the same alarm second time. So just keep an eye on the last occurrence date and time, the row which I highlighted. You'll observe that date and time gets changed when the same alarm is received second time. So I'm just sending now. So it is now current time of is 9:14:02 is the current date and time for last occurrence date and time. So I'm sending alarm now. Just observe this last occurrence date and time column. So you see here, it has been changed to 9:15 once the second alarm is received. So this is what the feature is. So very well. For the next feature is sorting of these alarms based on last occurrence time. You can very well sort based on ascending and descending order of the last occurrence date and time. So here what I did is I have sorted in a descending order where the latest occurred alarm will be shown at the first, and then other alarms will be shown at the next. So what I'll do is I will with this descending order set, I'll raise an alarm, a similar alarm which I highlighted as the last row. So since I have sorted it, once a similar alarm is received now, it has automatically moved to the first row. So this is nothing but authorization failure trap. I'll generate this alarm on the device which is 96.11. So just see, now I am at the last row. Now I'll send an alarm where this last occurrence data type will get updated for the last row. Yeah. See, you see here automatically the last occurrence date and time got updated and moved to top of the row, which is in the descending order of last occurrence date and time. So with this I conclude the sorting of last occurrence date and time. Next demo will be on removal of myths. So any queries? So maybe I think I will take up at the last at the end. So I will quickly move on to removal of myths. So I'm just going to launch new tools. I think it will take a couple of seconds. So I'll just quickly give a brief introduction of what is about removal of myths. So by default, we'll ship in Spectrum. We'll ship myths during as part of a Spectrum. This myths will get loaded during installation. So if and also there is a flexibility existing feature in the MIP tools for the user to add a custom MIPS in MIP tools, but there is no functionality to remove the MIPS added by the user. So in this release, we are providing that feature to remove a MIP added by the user. So and to assure, so the whatever MIPS Spectrum sheets, right? Those MIPS can't be removed. Only the MIPS which user adds after installing Spectrum can be removed. Give me a few seconds so that the MIP tools get loaded. Yeah. So have the MIP tools got loaded. So these are the existing MIPs present in already part of Spectrum is shipped. So if you see here, I selected one of the MIPs, and this is the new delete button added. So you see here, this delete button is disabled for the MIPS which gets shipped with Spectrum. So now what I'm going to do is I quickly add one of the MIP into MIP tools. So I have one MIP in my box, my machine, which I'll be adding it. So I'll compiling it and then adding to the MIP tools. Yeah, this got added in the MIP tools. Now see, the custom MIP got highlighted, and if you see that the delete icon also got highlighted. So this gives an opportunity to delete the MIPS added by user. So quickly I'm going to do is I click on the delete button, and it gives me a pop-up saying the confirmation to delete or not. And also one more message is this MIP doesn't delete attributes and traps mapped. It is the user responsibility to first remove the attributes or traps mapped by the user. So this just there is the MIP. For example, if any user has loaded a MIP and mapped traps to it, Now delete claim MIP doesn't unmap the traps. So I'll just click on OK and the MIP will get deleted. You see here the MIP has been deleted. So yeah, this concludes my demo on the user community ideas, and if you have any questions I can take it.
Yeah, so if you could transfer me control back, Hari and JK, I'd appreciate that. Actually, we will take questions in another 20 to 30 minutes when we are done with the remaining part of the presentation. So while you transfer that, thanks Hari, JK, really appreciate it. I know it's pretty late in the night for you guys, so appreciate you staying back and helping with the demo. So as I said, we went to the demo. These are the ones which we did. Now, the slides that you see right now are the ones that we have planned for the upcoming releases, which is search by IP address model name, modeling gateway as web service, one-click performance recording, mobile one-click. I do have some update on some of these, at least in my upcoming slides. So point is, we will be spending bandwidth funding on these every release. So please continue to add new ideas and continue to vote ideas. The more a particular idea gets voted, the higher it would be on our list to be done. In addition to this, we have done a bunch of operational efficiency improvements as well. NCM scale has been improved. We have added automation for remediation on the NCM side. We have security improvements with PIP 256 as well. I won't go into details of each one of these. We'll post these slides. You can go through those. And if you have any questions, you can get back to us. We'll be happy to respond to any questions. We have some IP services layer 3 improvements as well for VPN manager. We have support for MPLS manager in the distributed setup. We have made enhancements for the VPN manager. I have a slide specifically for that, which is here. So our goal was working with some of the service providers, some of the larger spectrum service providers. We have done a review of the VPN manager, MPLS manager architecture, and we have proactively taken some steps to take care of some of the issues that we see in that component. These are some of the internal work items or internal things that we are fixing and enhancing on the layer or on the IP services side. Last but not the least, we have enhanced authentication now. EM 12.5 support has been added. It will be supporting multiple domains as well. I said very important. We have 174 device certification updates in Delmar in Spectrum 9.4. All possible device families or device vendors out there. We have some dedicated bandwidth given for quality and some improvement of specific components. Specifically, our SRM I have in one of my upcoming slides. So as I said, we had gone through some of the new features in the past. I was very happy to have our team demo those from the build that would be going GA in a few weeks from now. So very happy for that. But the most important or the most interesting part of the discussion or presentation comes now. What I will run you through in the next 4 or 5 slides are the new things that within the Spectrum team we are considering and we have embarked upon to make the product more value-adding for you as end users and be more apt from a new technology support perspective out there in the market. First and foremost, high impacting outages view. So basically, the idea here is Spectrum has a lot of data about the outages, about root cause stored within its database. Our plan here, our intent here is giving the ability to very easily display and report on the outages and the impacts of those outages in the environment. So the ability for you as an operator, as an end user to show what has happened in the environment either to your manager or to your stakeholders directly. In turn, probably showing the value of the tool as well. The thought process here is to be able to show key information around the time of the outages, the device that was root cause for the outage, and the number of devices that were impacted downstream by that particular outage. What we have also thought on is giving the end users like yourselves the ability would be given for you to customize some of these attributes and associate costs so that you would be able to derive dollar values around those outages. So this would be completely left up to you as the end user to customize it. In discussion with our architects and our engineering team, our product management team has come up with this mock-up for how we envision it to look. Now, we are obviously not the best of UI designers or experts, so this is what we came up with at a high level. We would show some of these metrics. We would give the ability to determine the weight of that impact. So you'll see a less number of devices or high impact might not necessarily be a higher weighted impact solution in your environment. So this is an area that we are aggressively looking on, that to provide that additional value based on the information we have. This is one thing probably most of the people I have talked to, and I realize I know a lot of people who are attending this call, that we have talked about, lowering the total cost of ownership for Spectrum. Today, if you have 20,000 devices managing Spectrum, you need at least 7 to 8 Spectrum servers to manage that environment. You increase your environment, the scale of your environment, you need to account for that more. Last few years, what we have realized as a team is making those small tactical code changes to improve scale or scale haven't yielded any results. At the same time, rewriting a humongous product like Spectrum for 64-bit is also out of scope for budget reasons, for the time it would take. What our team is right now doing is researching the ability to rebuild Spectrum with the appropriate flags to make it 64-bit compatible and make it utilize the 64-bit address space. The goal that we have kept in front of our engineering team is have a single Spectrum server support at least 15,000 devices. So this would definitely help minimize the footprint in a lot of our large customers out there. Some of the targets that we have set for ourselves and for our team are these, around 500 traps per second, 800 events per second, 20 alarms per second, which could eventually peak to 100. We are talking to some of our largest customers and partners, and they are helping us understand the expectations that a 64-bit compatible solution would have. This is being researched, let me call it out. While our initial results are pretty impressive and pretty heartening, we still have at least a quarter and a half to go to determine the exact amount of testing and effort it would be needed to get it out to the market. Our plan, our goal is to use our next release, which is Spectrum 9.5, to go out with this capability for GA, which is currently planned for around middle of next year. The reason I'm sharing these details right now is to make sure all our users understand that we are taking up a lot of big ticket items as well as a lot of innovative items within Spectrum to make sure that all our existing 1,000 customers benefit from the newer releases that they would adopt. One of the highest voted community enhancements has been a mobile interface for Spectrum. You see here a slight difference in the status here towards the top right. This is being tested. So what screenshots you see here are from a version that our team has already coded and tested in our labs. So this is how the Spectrum mobile icon will show up. You would need to connect to your one-click server, provide the user credentials. You could use HTTP as well as HTTPS. You would have the ability to configure whether you want to get critical alarms, major alarms, or all the alarms on your mobile device. This is how it actually looks. This is the configuration piece. What this slide has are the screenshots for the actual data being shown on the mobile interface. So you see here the alarms listed here with their color coding and severity based on the device. If you click on a specific alarm, it will show you all the alarm details, including the event message, and we are adding the root cause, the probable cause as the information in this view as well. If you see at the bottom of the screen, you see acknowledge, troubleshooter, and clear as the operations that the end user can perform from the mobile interface. So you'll be able to acknowledge the alarm, it will sync back on one-click and Spectrum server. You can clear the alarm, it will sync back again. You can add a troubleshooter for a particular alarm as well. And you see in the last screenshot here, you see 4 usernames based on the users in one click that are being shown for selection. So you could assign this alarm to one of the administrators for them to work on. As I said, this is a screenshot of a working mobile interface. It is being tested. We have rolled it out for beta testing to only a minimal number of our internal field teams, and they're giving us feedback. Our plan is that before end of this calendar year, we release this out to the market, and we are now open to soliciting feedback or soliciting nominations for getting this app and trying it out. So if you are interested in testing this app, getting a feel for that, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to make it available for you to test. One other area that we have consistently heard from customers, from partners, from our internal field teams is report manager. We haven't done too much to our report manager in the past couple of years. We accept that. But based on the feedback that we have got through our reach out and through our support colleagues, these are the 2 things that our team is already working on. This is work in progress. So the first one is to simplify the deployment of SRM. So what we are working on is allowing multiple SRM servers to use the same CABI instance. CABI, which is Boxy in the back end, did not allow this capability. So we have pushed our CABI team, the CA Boxy team, and we have worked with them, and we are able to now support this. This is not in Spectrum 9.4, mind you. We are able to get this through the CABI team now, and it's being implemented on the Spectrum side. The other thing that we are doing is improving the performance of SRM for large environments. So basically, what our team is doing is, our team is in the process of updating the queries, optimizing the queries that will make sure that when you are retrieving reports for very large environments, you are getting the right performance levels. And below here, what I have listed down are some of the stretch goals that we have kept for our team, that we should be able to report with appropriate performance for environments that have over 3 million events per day, and we should be able to process data for 365 days, and so on and so forth. So a lot of focus being given on some of these things that we are tracking from our side. I think I have lost network connection on my side. So are we able to see the next slide? Spectrum support for access points? Hello?
No, Kiran.
I've moved it for you.
No. Yeah, if you could, I appreciate that, Mary. Yes. So I think I lost my network connection here. So please let me know once you are on these slides.
There.
Cool. Okay, cool. So this is another area that we have been trying to get into the product. So a lot of our customers, our partners have been talking about getting the ability to manage access points, hotspots within Spectrum. Today what we support is only management of the controllers, not the access points. So our goal here is to be able to manage these access points vis-a-vis the other devices in the environment, show the association between the controller and the access point, and then alarm if there is a change in this association. We are also planning to show some specific attributes within the environment, for example, the total number of access points, their status, and total number of users across these access points. For the individual access points, we are also looking at the status, number of users, the upload, download, the volume, and so on and so forth. So again, the idea here is we are tightening the requirements here. We have talked to a few customers. They like the requirements that we have put together, and our engineering teams have started researching this and figuring out what MIPS and what communication mechanisms can be used to get this capability in place. Again, we are targeting this to be done in the next few quarters, but as you see here, this is in the initial research phase at this point in time. Last but not the least, and I think I got my connection back, do you see the Spectrum certification slide now?
Yes, I moved it for you. It's up.
Oh, cool. So I think, okay, cool. Thanks very much, Mary. So again, as I said, we realized that when we were doing Spectrum 9.3 and internationalization, we fell behind on some of the certifications. I acknowledge that. And the reason, as I had mentioned in the past, was because making those internationalization multi-byte code changes and doing certifications in parallel was not something which was feasible. But we understand that with 9.4, we have 174 devices being updated. Immediately after 9.4, in the next quarter, we have around 70 to 80 certifications planned, which are predominantly for Cisco and Juniper. So our goal is that before end of this calendar year, our gap for Cisco and Juniper devices should be minimal, if possible, 0. Mind you, this is for the network devices, not necessarily for the security devices as well. But our goal is before end of this calendar year, our backlog for certifications is almost 0 for Cisco and Juniper. Our goal, our commitment to you all, to our customers, our partners is that we will continue to deliver 50 to 60 certifications with every delivery vehicle we get for Spectrum. Also, to make sure we publish our commitment, this is what we have, what we call as the release content strategy. Here, we have guidelines on when we would be supporting and within what time frames we would be supporting newer devices, updates to devices, security vulnerabilities, operating system platforms, and so on and so forth. So this is published on the support site. Please go ahead, have a look at that, and feel free to hold us accountable for that. Reach out to us if you think we are not meeting any of those expectations. Mary, are you able to see the next slide? I think I got my connection back.
What slide do you want to be on? It didn't move. I'm on.
Okay, so it's the roadmap slide with the vertical columns, existing, planned, under consideration, and future.
Yeah, it's up.
Cool. Okay. Thank you very much. So this is the roadmap. I talked a bunch of things from this already, but the intent of showing this roadmap slide is to make sure we impress upon you the point that we are thinking at least 18 to 24 months beyond what we have right now. We have Spectrum 9.4 planned, which will go GA end of July, early August. We have a Spectrum 9.4.1 plan that we want to go GA before end of this calendar year, with the key content of that 9.4.1 being Spectrum Nimsoft integration for virtualization, minimizing or taking to 0 the Cisco Juniper device certification gap, and then we have some other security vulnerabilities that we are trying to look at. We would be looking at, as I said, in Spectrum 9.5, newer technology support around virtualization like virtual port channeling. We are looking at Cisco virtual switching. We are looking at VMware distributed switching as well. In the same 9.5 time frame, I told you, we are considering pushing for that 64-bit compatible Spectrum to reduce your total cost of ownership, reduce the footprint of Spectrum. We will continue to invest every release, set aside bandwidth for the highest voted community enhancement. You voted, we'll sort it in order, and the top 5, 6 community voted enhancements we will include in every release that we work through. As I said, we talked about NCM scale improvement. We talked about improvements to the discovery mechanism within Spectrum. We will be continuing to do that. So we are striking that balance where we are trying to get out new things like 64-bit mobile UI, newer views like the outage view, but at the same time, we are focusing on improving the value of Spectrum in existing deployments through those operational efficiency improvements. We will be continuing to support newer devices from newer vendors as well. We have a set aside bandwidth for 50 to 60 certifications every release vehicle as well. Our goal and our themes in the future releases would be the tighter integration with Nimsoft for that unified IAM positioning that we are going after, and then look at even newer technologies like SDN, software-defined networks, and so on and so forth. So the intent again of this slide is we have a lot of content. We have commitment from our management to go after this content and get all those value-adding features into Spectrum for the end users. I think this is the last slide I have, and I know there have been a bunch of questions on the Q&A roster as well, but I'll probably pause here and see if there are any questions on the phone. As I said, a lot of content. We will continue to do this. We will continue to post our plans on the communities, validate with you, and make sure that we are moving in the right direction. So if there are any questions, we can start taking those.
Ebony, could you ask? Thank you.
As a reminder, in order to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. We'll pause for just a moment to compile the Q&A roster.
And while we're compiling questions, if you have a question, please use the Q&A panel to ask your question. We can start there if we don't have anybody on the line.
Sure. So I do have some in the Q&A roster, Mary. I'll probably go bottom up because it's easier given the Q&A view is very small in Webex. So first one is from Justin. Justin asks whether the NCM scale improvements are coming in 9.4 or 9.5. So Justin, NCM scale improvements are in 9.4. They will be available in a few weeks from now. Al asks, what will be the update path? I guess Al means what will be the upgrade path from for 9.4, right? So from 9.2x. So yes, we will be supporting a direct upgrade from 9.2 to 9.4 as well. There will be some intermediate steps you would need to take through, but that is what our QA team is testing as well.
Your first question comes from the line.
Sure.
Your first question comes from the line of Julio Zagara.
Yes, hi. I was wondering, while you were doing the demo for the Nimsoft integration, I noticed that the alerts were part of a model that it was a system edge host. Is that needed, or that was just the case and didn't realize that?
No, so basically that's a representation of that model within Spectrum. So you don't need a system edge host to model Nimsoft entities. So I guess probably that might be the icon or the representation for that Nimsoft entity. So there's no relation whatsoever between the system edge models and the Nimsoft models.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
As a reminder, in order to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. There are no more questions at this time.
Sure. The next one in the roster is from Peter. Peter asks whether will you include trap event policy table for the proprietary event for each certification as well. So Peter, I think that varies from case to case. Typically, we do certify devices for traps and events as well. it's not always that we go and support the proprietary MIBs as well. But if our certification does not cater or support a specific proprietary MIB that is critical for you or for your customer, please feel free to reach out to us through our support team, and we'll make sure we'll line those up for certification as well. The next one in the roster again is from Thiru. Thiru asks, how about Huawei? I guess Thiru means Huawei certification. Yes, we do have Huawei chassis and the other Huawei devices lined up and planned. Some of them are, I believe, in 9.4 as well, and 100% sure they are in the coming 9.4.1 and the upcoming quarters as well. So, Thiru, yes, we do have Huawei as well. Let me just take a minute here. Our goal, our aim here is to be able to be at par, at least for Cisco and Juniper for now. And the reason I'm saying at least for Cisco and Juniper, because those are the most popular vendors within our customer base. And we don't want to be behind on at least those two at this point in time. Our aim, our goal, once again, is to be having almost zero backlog for Cisco and Juniper by the end of this year, and keep up with our certification cadence so that we do the same for other vendors as well. So it would be an ongoing process, and we expect that within the next few quarters, we would be pretty current for most of the vendors out there. The next question, unless there's someone on the phone, is from David. Will Delmar be able to correctly show ASDL ports speeds in the interfaces tab, and will it render utilization correctly in the performance tab? I definitely know there's something happening for ASDL, and I know one of my team members, colleagues, Harsh, is on the call. So Harsh, do you want to take that and answer whether we'll be able to show ASDL information in any of the current certifications for 9.4, or is that planned for future?
No, Kiran, at the moment I cannot think about it, and I'll probably get back after this call.
Sure, absolutely, no problem. Sure. So David, we get a copy of this Q&A roster, so we'll get back to you after looking at our certification backlog.
We have one audio question from Al Sorrell.
Yes, I had also put in the Q&A column, but what version of eHealth will be required or supported under 9.4 spectrum?
I believe it is 6.3, the latest update they have, but I'll probably let JK or Hari confirm that for me. JK, Hari, would you know that top of your head?
Yes, Kiran, it's 6.3.x supports 9.4.
Okay, so any update on top of 6.3, Al?
Thank you very much.
Sure.
There are no more questions at this time.
Sure, and I'll probably take this one from the roster as well. This is Alex. Alex asks, when do you expect Cisco VPC to be available? And as I showed in the roadmap, which is still being shown, that's the first point. So we're targeting that to be done within Spectrum 9.5 timeframe. So there's one more question which is interesting, Yam. He asks, thanks for the presentation. Going forward, which product would be the primary VMware monitoring tool, Nimsoft or VCN? This is pretty interesting. Nimsoft would be our platform for server management for the future. But having said that, we do have a lot of customers using System Edge and VAME as well. So we will continue to support the existing customers that have System Edge.
Hello, Kiran, you there?
It looks like Karen dropped.
Yes, I think.
Yes, he may rejoin. Can any of his coworkers answer his questions?
Hi, Mary. Yeah, so this is Harsh here from the product management team itself. So like Kiran was stating that Nimsoft is basically positioned for system management and virtualized environment management. But at the same time, Spectrum still is very much invested on System Edge and VC-AIM. So it would actually depend from case to case, whichever technology suits the particular customer. So at the moment, we do not have any plans of choosing one over the other, and both of them are in parallel. So are there any other questions on over the phone?
Karen has rejoined.
Hey, Mary, I'm back.
Hey, Harsh just finished answering your last question, so if you could continue, thanks.
Sure.
Sure. So Kiran, I just told our community about the fact that though Nimsoft is very well positioned for monitoring virtualized environments, at the same time Spectrum continues to be invested in WAIM technology, the WAIM agent, to do the virtualized monitoring as well. So
So that doesn't change. We won't be ditching our existing WAIM customers. So to be really candid, we won't be overly aggressive in investing in our support for WAIM, meaning we won't be adding any new fancy features for WAIM support, but at the same time, we would be making sure that existing customers are not impacted in any way for their existing environments. There's one question from Silvio. Will there be a single sign-on for Nimsoft integration? So that was our requirement for this release, Silvio, but we are having some challenges doing that with the Nimsoft team. There has to be a better handshake on the technical standpoint and exchanging of the information to facilitate that. What we do have is, which was not possible a month back, that you only need to key in the credentials the first time you log in to Nimsoft as part of that integration. But yes, we are working on that. It's currently not available. So Leslie has a question. What was the timescale estimated date for release of 9.4? So Leslie, per our legal guidance, we are only allowed to talk externally in first half, second half time frame, because going any more granular impacts the ability for us to recognize a particular revenue stream. So with that said, we had mentioned second half of calendar year. But since we are already in the to middle and within a quarter of the release, we are now allowed to mention the week and the month. So we were targeting August, and we are currently on track for August for 9.4 GA. Hans, hey Hans, Hans says, notice the trap tool during the demo. Wanted to know if it is available to CA customers. I think this is an internal tool that might be freeware as well, but we can get back to you, Hans. We can get back to you on that. So Michael says, I have seen this in competing products, but not sure how to do it in Spectrum 9, and probably he has something. Okay. Is intelligent alerting possible where a lower severity alert is triggered? For example, one link. Okay, I see what you're saying. Harsh, I mean, top of your head, do you think we'll be able to do this, what Michael is saying? Meaning one link in a 4th channel is down versus all of them.
Yes, Kiran. I don't know if Michael is talking about LACP, but if he is, then definitely the way LACP has been designed.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Harsh. I think he is talking about LACP. You're right. Yeah, Michael, that's absolutely possible. You're right. Thanks, Harsh. I probably didn't read into the question very properly. Thanks. Yeah, Michael, you should be able to do that. Ralph asks, are there any more service packs planned for 9.3? Absolutely. We are planning one towards end of this calendar year after 9.4.1. So yes, being planned, but you would get a couple more deliveries like 9.4 and 9.4.1 before that. How is the integration? Wayne asks, how is the integration setup done between Nimsoft and Spectrum? CLI configuration files or web administration setup? It's web administration setup, Wayne. When Hari was doing the demo, he showed up how you key in the Nimsoft server and UMP server name and port addresses. Alexander again asks, and again a critique, the VPC feature is available on Cisco side for more than 1 year. In Spectrum, we will get this 9.5 probably next year. The monitoring is behind the technology for more than 2 years. Acknowledged, agreed, Alexander, completely understand what you're saying. As I said, I mean, the internationalization project put us back a bit on some of these things, but we are fully committed to get ahead of the curve. So as I said, per legal, we are supposed to talk about 9.5 only for the first half of 2015, but I assure you we will have a version to try out with, test with a lot earlier than that. So we will keep that in mind.
Kiran, just to add to what you said about VPC support, so we were actually held back because of another reason, and that is the vendor did not support SNMP for VPC until just the recent release of the iOS. So only the recent release of the iOS has got MIP support for VPC, so hopefully we'll be able to get some simulations and work from there. So if anyone on the community has the latest iOS running VPC, we can definitely use your help.
Absolutely, sure. So that's a good point you bring in, Harsh. So yes, so we actually had it in plans for 9.4, but Cisco did not have the right MIBs in place for us to consume that information. So that's why we have pushed it back to 9.5. But yes, as Harsh said, if anyone has the latest iOS with the right MIBs, we'll be very happy to partner with you for that. I'll take the last two questions. We are getting to the top of the hour, and I assure you the remaining questions which were not answered, we will get back to you because Mary sends us the entire roster. So we'll get back to you on email and we'll post a response script, if you will, on the community as well. But the last two I'll take is Princey. Hey Princey, how are you? So Princey asks, what is the approximate time frame for Spectrum 9.4? I think we talked about that. So I can say this actually on the call as well. So internally, we are tracking July 22nd for RTMGA, and I think it takes a week or so after that for our internal administrative things to show it up on the support side. So definitely first week of August, assuming we don't run into any blocker issues. Okay, the next one, John asks, will 9.4 support enterprise VPN in DSS installs? John, we already support VPN in DSS installs. We have improved upon that with 9.4. So you'll see a better support for VPN manager in DSS mode. Rob asks, will tighter integration with WAME be included? We will be continuing to support the newer updates that WAME provides, but as I said earlier, Rob, the support will continue. But at this point in time, we don't have any major enhancements on WAME spectrum integration planned as of now. But the support will continue. There will be no problem with support on that side. Okay, so I think what I'll do, Mary, is I'll turn it over to you and Dildar. So I appreciate everyone's time. Thanks, and I hope this session was helpful for all. So Mary, Dildar, you want to take it over?
Thank you, Kiran, and thank you so much for presenting today. We had a lot of questions. What we're going to do is we're going to take all the questions from chat and the questions from the Q&A panel, and we will send those questions to the product management team and get some answers and post it with the webcast replay. The webcast replay will be posted in the webcast folder of the infrastructure management message board. We apologize that there was no audio today on the computer. There was a problem with the configuration when we set this up, and we apologize for that. Everyone, thank you again for joining, and we'll see you next month.
This concludes today's conference. You may now disconnect.
Thank you very much.